is a lot right now. Are you feeling it? We all need new tools to help us walk through the chaos with grace, ease, and compassion for each other and for ourselves. In this podcast, you'll hear from parents, educators, and other experts who can bring perspective to the monumental job of parenting. It's time to level up and be warriors for our kids and our communities. This is the Warrior Parent Podcast. I'm Marci Mitchell.
And I'm Debbie DiManno. As parents, we understand that it really does take a village to raise our kids. We hope that this podcast serves to create and support that community for you. Join us as we discuss and practice our core tools, which are proven mind-body techniques that can be used by anyone to improve your life on a daily basis.
Well, welcome back to the Warrior Parent Podcast. We're so grateful that you are joining us today. And today we're speaking with Fay Chan, a certified clinical EFT tapping practitioner and mentor for certifying student practitioners at EFT Universe. Fay works with both adults and children to clear and alleviate angst, physical sensations caused by anxiety and stress, removing subconscious blocks and allowing freedom and ease to create new possibilities and results. So welcome, Fay.
Thanks, Marci. Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Fay. We are so excited to have you here today. I don't know how much you know about us, but we have these what we call core tools, and EFT is one of our core tools. And
Yes,
right.
And Marci is EFT practitioner also, amongst other things. She does lots of things. But we had to go to Australia to find Fay. And
virtually. Unfortunately, we only went virtually.
Thank God for Zoom, but I do want to go to Australia. And
Yes.
So hopefully we can meet up at some point. But Fay, we're super excited to have you here, and to find someone who's speaking our language makes us really, really happy. And if you could go ahead and give us a little background around how you came to be this EFT practitioner, and maybe a little bit of your life. You probably weren't an EFT practitioner your whole life, but give our audience a little bit of background about you.
Sure. So I found out about EFT about 15 years ago when I was actually working at a personal development company. And I was in one of their senior programs, and my trainer in EFT happened to be doing the program at that same time. So I knew Jenny, my trainer, 15 years ago as a participant in that particular training program. So, but I didn't look into EFT. I knew she did it. I knew it worked really well with PTSD, and she's written books on it. So, so fast forward about 11 years. So after I've done my foray into personal development world, I'm a household budgeting consultant at that time. So I had my own business in advising households in how to manage their money. You know, you have this much, you spend this much, and this much is left over, right? It's easy math. A sixth grader can tell you how to budget, but everybody's gripped by money, right? Their version, their perspective, their meaning of money.
Yeah.
And I found it really quite a struggle to actually get clients for myself at that time. It was really frustrating because I knew it was transformational. Like, as soon as you see the numbers in front of you on a spreadsheet, you then have the power comes back to you rather than over there with the money, like the I don't know, somehow, something or other. Yeah. The power returns back to you because you're then taking charge. Even if it's a negative number, you know what to do with your budget. Right. That's quite transformational, but I struggled getting clients. And I was at a networking session, and one of the people that spoke was a tapping practitioner. Now I've known about tapping at this stage from yonks ago, and I even know the trainer who does training in EFT, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, she speaks the same language given my personal development background. And I'm just going, and I And I wasn't fulfilled in what I was doing because I couldn't make the difference to my budgeting clients that I wanted to make. And so it clicked in my head. I'm like, well, maybe I should leave the strategic pipeline called "This is what you should do. These are the actions you should take," the strategies around a budget, and go straight into the emotional pipeline. Called I deal with anxiety, I deal with feelings, I deal with blocks, I deal with I want to go over there, but I'm over here and I'm stuck, which is normal languaging and a very easy domain for me to participate in. And so I spoke to my husband. I thought, think I should become a tapping practitioner. He goes, all right, go ahead. So I picked up the phone. I gave Jenny a call. Who knows?
Very cool. Normally they're like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, what are you doing?
Oh, I met my husband at the personal development company.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
So he already knows Jenny as well. Right?
Oh, okay. All right.
You know, we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
And so I rang Jenny and then got myself certified.
Wow.
That was like, it was hop, skip, and jump, right?
Yeah.
But I needed to go through, I guess, what it takes to really carve away at your own business, as you ladies would know.
Yeah.
Right. At how much effort it takes and how much you need to generate yourself, because you've only got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's
definitely
a different mindset, different world to being an employee versus self-generating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm curious. So did you go and you did this complete shift and now you just do the EFT, or do you still do the budgeting, but bring the EFT into it?
No, 100% EFT.
100% EFT. Okay.
Yeah. I've had some financial planners and some mortgage brokers still refer clients onto me. So I do that privately on the side. Okay. But that's few and far between now.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I had sort of this vision of you starting the session with an EFT tapping session. And then now that you're calm and we're kind of on an even level, now we can talk about your finances. But
I have done that with a client because he was jittery whilst he was handing over his documents to me.
Relatable.
Yeah. Well, so, I think so many people are stuck around money, right?
Yes.
Yeah. For the most part, I think people really are afraid of money. Right. I think they really have a deep-seated fear that, oh my God, like, could I really be so wealthy, and imagine that. Right. I think that's actually a real thing.
Yeah, it's quite confronting.
Yeah. So tell us about the so you call it EFT Universe? Is that so is that your own?
Certified? No, that's where I certified.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah, so EFT Universe is a school for energy healing, energy psychology, EFT tapping.
Is it located in Australia?
No, that's in the States.
Oh, okay.
Oh. It's headed by Dawson Church. That's his thing. And so I'm on the mentoring team for certifying students.
Okay.
So I went through that process myself. My mentor happened to be Jenny, who was my trainer too.
Yeah.
And so you have to go through 40 cases, hand that in, and you're assessed and reviewed and supported through different techniques. And then from there, after exams, after reading, after the course, and then you certify as a practitioner.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I like to share my EFT story because
Marci has a great EFT story.
Yeah. But part of it is a little similar to you in that I had the experience with it, and then it was almost 10 years before I got certified or even used it again, because it was when I had it done, I wasn't learning it necessarily. Someone just did it for me. So it was a big mystery. Like, what was that? I'm repeating after someone and I'm doing what they're telling me to do, but it was this big mystery and I didn't know how to use it. So, so this was about, I want to say it was about 2012 or 2013. And I was in a class, and it was a personal development type class. It was through a spiritual center. I was living in Virginia at the time. And we were in this class talking about how emotions can get stuck, how things can get stuck and then trigger. And so, the instructor asked, does anyone know what we're talking about, or anyone have an experience? And I was like, yeah, I have this thing that happens to me and has been happening for years. So during the kind of the 2009 crash that happened, you know, my husband was laid off. I was not working at the time, but wasn't able to find work. And so, and we were in the middle of building a new house. And so like everything, like we had this very traumatic sort of crash in our own lives.
Yeah.
And it went on for a long time, him not finding something else. And we were in Arizona at the time. We finally had to move to Virginia in order to kind of start recovering. But during that time, when I would start, we had 2 dogs at the time. So I had a big bin that I stored my dog food in, dry dog food. When I would open that door and start to see the dog food was running out, I would go into fear. I was like, oh God, you know, I can't buy dog food. I need to feed my children. We have no money. So just kind of this irrational, I mean, totally irrational, but a little bit irrational because of course I'm going to feed my dogs. You know, I'm not going to stop buying dog food. But so that was happening, you know, that it was just really part of the trauma. And it was, all of it was very traumatic. But then we moved back to Virginia. Economy was much better there. We both immediately got jobs. We got back on our feet and, you know, got things going again in our lives, started, you know, recovering from that. But that experience kept happening with the dog food. So, you know, I would open the dog. Yeah. So I'd open that container and I would have a physical reaction. My stomach, my heart rate would go up. And then I would be like, yeah, it was really like, it was in there. And I would be like, oh, that's crazy. You know, everything's fine now. Like, why am I still having this? And it happened every single time. Every single time it would start to go down. So this is about maybe 3 years later, and I'm in this class. And so I share that. And the woman who was leading the class, who was a minister, said, well, we need to tap that out. And I had no idea what she was talking about. But there was another person who knew EFT in the class, and there were about 10 of us. And so she led us through this round, you know, and everyone participated. We're tapping where she says, we're all speaking it aloud. 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the most. And then she's, you know, she wants me to check in. How are you feeling? And I'm like, well, you know, I feel fine, but I'm mostly fine. I won't know until I start to run out of dog food. And so of course, when I started to run out, when I started to open it and have it lower, like it was gone. Absolutely gone. And
amazing.
I purposefully let that dog food run down to like just a couple of pieces at the bottom of the thing. Nothing. No reaction. And it was completely gone. It's never come back, you know, in 10 years. And I was like, what is this magic? You know? But again,
she calls it her dog food moment.
Yes, my dog food moment. Right. And I feel like most people have something, and it may not always be that intense, but we have, like, I was just talking to my son yesterday, and he had an experience online that took him back to something that happened that was very traumatic for him about 12 years ago. And I was like, you know, no kids, I don't know about your kids, but mine don't necessarily want to tap with me, but if someone else was bringing it, maybe. But anyhow,
yes, I'd have to make my son tap with me.
How old is your son?
He's 10.
10.
He's 10. He did a golf competition yesterday.
Oh, fantastic!
So he came 15th out of 22 people, which is still a great result for him. Yeah. But he was really disappointed. So I began tapping with him because he said at the 4th hole, when he teed off, it went into the water. So I wonder what he made it mean. And then and then he goes, yeah, but mummy, he goes, with every single comp, I fail halfway through. So he's done 5 comps so far. So hole 1, 2, 3, and 4, he's pretty good. And he goes crap from 5 through to 9.
Oh.
Right. And that's his cemented pattern now.
Yes.
Right. So I said, you have to do tapping with mummy to tap it out. And I said, even if you don't, you gotta hum and tap through every single hole. And he goes, why do I have to hum? I said, well, it's the vibrations, the frequency. And instead of you just actually doing the tapping, because you can't think in the moment. I said, at least if you're singing, which he likes doing, and tapping, or move it somehow.
Interesting.
Yeah. And was he open to that now because it was something he was so invested in, or?
I think so. I mean, we'll test it out. Test it out. Yeah.
I think that's a big part of it. Because for me, even though I had no idea what she was talking about, I trusted her completely. And I was just open. I was like, sure, let's try it. You know, I don't know what this is. It's crazy. But so, yeah.
You
That's
guys
a
both,
great story.
you both talk about it being magic, and even when Marci tells the story, and all the kids are just like, they're laughing and they think this woman's crazy, right? And Marci will tell them, I don't know how it works, but it just does. It just does. So Fay, can you enlighten us a little, give us a little more? I'm the technical person here, so I want to know technically, like, kind of how it works, so our audience doesn't think that it's just voodoo magic kind of thing. There's actually
Right.
something technically going on in your brain. Yes.
So this is the intro I give most children, right? Which I'll do here. I'll say, what's this? They'll go, oh, it's a key ring. It's an Eiffel Tower key ring, right? The key ring is an Eiffel Tower. And then I'll say, what's this? And I'm holding up a Rubik's Cube. So they go, it's a Rubik's Cube. And I'm like, okay, great. Because I do online sessions with them. I'm not physically there with them. Yeah. And I'll say, what's this? They're like, a green highlighter. I'm like, great. You can touch and feel these things, can't you? They're like, yep. I said, all right, now I need you to point to anger. I need you to point to sadness. I want you to point to disappointment. And they're just looking at me going, well, I don't know. And I say, where do you feel it? They go, oh, in my head when I'm angry. I'm like, if this is anger, it's in your head. And if this is sadness and you're feeling choked up, where is this? In your throat. And if this is nervous, you're feeling nervous and your tummy's churning, or it's feeling a bit funny, where is it? That's in your tummy. I said, your feelings are like this, but you actually feel it. You can't point to it like a Rubik's Cube, but you can actually feel it in your body. So I said, this is what tapping does. To say, if this is all anger, and I've got like thousands of pens here, and I'm like, all here, what happens? Right, so I'm holding a whole bunch of pens and stuff.
I hope people are going to watch this on YouTube, because this is really, this is something to see. Yeah.
They go, I explode, they say. I'm like, correct. Yes. Correct. I said, this is what tapping does. Right? We take bits and bobs away. Right? So that you know how to manage it. When it starts with one, you know how to manage it. You don't have to wait for the whole lot to pile on top. Yes. So I demonstrate this with kids because they visually get it, and they know that they explode because it just accumulates and accumulates and it tips over. Yeah. Right. So that's what brilliant. Tapping is. Yeah. And it's actually, I mean, emotions are actually in the neuropeptides of cells. So it's actually physical and chemical. Yes. Right. So that therefore, even with adults who think this is all a bunch of woo-woo, go, oh yeah, I do feel it. It's always this feeling in my stomach or this feeling in my chest. Right, it's familiar.
So it's sort of a combination of sort of Chinese acupuncture, acupressure, right? And then the concept of sort of Western psychology, is that how the whole thing was put together?
Yeah, so it's we're tapping on acupuncture points, or if you want to use a technical term, it's the primovascular system. It's part of the nervous system, and we're tapping at the juncture points, right? So the end points of the meridians, and we're physically pulsing on it, so therefore tapping to activate and still send electrical signals to the amygdala to calm. Right? So that's what we're doing. We're activating it, right? We're turning it on. And so we're using on purpose to bring emotions up. So and we're discharging it by the tapping. Yes. And the power of acknowledgement through speaking as well. And it's the repetition. Right? So if you're venting to someone or complaining about something, and sometimes it just dissipates because you've been heard.
Yeah. Yes. So women do that well. We like to talk a lot. Yeah.
Exactly.
We wonder why we have to hang out with our girlfriends sometimes. It's because we gotta talk it out. Yes.
But with the tapping, it discharges the emotional angst faster.
That I have never heard that explained so well. I love that. I love how you explain that. And that's really powerful. And Yeah, like Debbie said, she's the more sciencey one. So I know that like she really appreciated hearing how it's, going up and actually doing that.
Yeah.
I watched one of your videos on Facebook where you were talking about that, how, you can just vent, just tap and vent. And I thought that was brilliant because that was
Yeah.
part of what kept me from doing it for so long was even if I could remember some of the spots, I didn't know what to say. I was like, and especially because I'm brought up in this metaphysical new thought way of spirituality, and it's
Right.
very positive. So the idea of talking about the bad thing, like the thing you want to release, was kind of foreign. But for me, once I saw how it worked, I was like, okay, I'm in. But I love that how you explain it, how you're bringing it up, and we talk about this all the time. You have to bring things up to heal them. You have to,
Correct.
so it's not, you can't just always be Miss Sunshine. You got to look at it and then you can let it go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
And
love
that's a fundamental teaching inside EFT. It is about acknowledging what's there and what's not there, what's missing even, and then you can alleviate.
I love that.
So talk about some of the different things that people might seek help from you for. So what are some of the different things people come to you for tapping?
With adults, it's chocolate. I'm serious.
I wasn't expecting her to say that at all.
I didn't either.
Cravings, not chocolate, especially through COVID. I had people go, Faye, I know I shouldn't.
Yeah.
But before I know it, the whole block's gone.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, that's so funny.
But it's not willpower. It really isn't. It's because what's anchored in chocolate is a previous memory. Right? So I had a client come to me and say, yeah, we're working on chocolate. And what the previous memory to that was I was in year 12. So that's the last year of high school where you do lots of exams. I was in year 12 and mum bought me a whole Cadbury Dairy Milk block. She never normally does that. It's a really rare snack. And I thought that was really lovely she did that because I can study and have chocolate. Right. So we further tapped again. And then she said, but she goes, through my 20s and 30s, I wasn't addicted to chocolate. Like I was actually okay about it. And I said, when did it start that you wanted chocolate? Like the slight addiction even, or the slight cravings.
Yeah.
She goes, oh, when mum passed away.
Oh.
So I said, who's mum for you? She goes, well, she comes around, she potters around the home. She might bring the laundry in, make me a cup of tea. She's just great support and help around the place. And I said, how does that make you feel? She feels appreciated, supported, and loved. And then we realized that's what's anchored in chocolate for her. Right? And so come COVID, and we're in Melbourne, so we had severe lockdowns for 2 years, like really bad lockdowns. She couldn't work. All she did was, you're physically and environmentally threatened and emotionally threatened by this virus or whatever they're telling you. And so you're activated, you're triggered. And she wants the love, support, and appreciation. So off she went to Cadbury Dairy Milk.
Wow.
Because you'll put chocolate in front of her, she'll have one square and stop at that.
Yeah.
But she couldn't stop finishing the whole block.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was unanchoring love, appreciation, support with chocolate, right? So with the tapping, we did this. Love, appreciation, and support is this. Chocolate is chocolate. There's no relationship.
Yeah.
But we have to divorce and detach the meaning.
Yes.
So when people are eating chocolate, they're actually craving the emotion.
Yes.
They're actually not physically eating the chocolate.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I sent her down the chocolate aisle at the supermarket.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of purple Cadbury stuff that's firing off at her. And she goes, I reached for the vegan chocolate, Faye. It was so weird. Right?
That's,
And
That
I've had
walking down
other
the
clients.
that
Exactly.
walking down
That's
the
the
chocolate
test.
aisle.
That's
Yeah,
the
that's
test,
the
right?
test.
It's like your dog food can.
It's exactly it. That's exactly
Yeah.
it. I had to make sure, I had to really prove it to myself and make sure
Yes.
that I wasn't, that it wasn't going to come back. And
Yeah.
remarkable.
Wow.
So, working with someone on an issue like that, how many sessions do you usually have, or do you
Gosh,
find
if
it?
it's something really deep seated, and
Mhm.
it just depends, right? You come
Right,
to me
right.
with a surface issue, and then we have no idea what we're going to find under.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Deep
Yes.
seated issues are between 7 to 10 sessions, but pretty permanent after that.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which is better than spending a lot of money on the craving, or a lot of money on the stress alleviation,
Yeah.
or whatever it is,
Right.
right?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it
No.
works, and it works fast.
That's very quick. That's very
Yeah.
few sessions, I would say, especially when it's something that's really, really making your life less good. Like it's really
Yes.
affecting how you're living your life, because, who wants that? And if you can do something simple that's not, that doesn't enter your body with a chemical or medication, that doesn't
Mhm.
Mhm.
cost you, thousands and thousands, or doesn't
Exactly.
hurt, you don't have to have an operate, like you can just do
Mhm.
it with this
Yeah.
wonderful modality, then why
Yeah.
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But the catch is you got to have the courage to go through it. It's not easy
Yeah.
if those memories
Yes.
come up, and you need to be there and live through the meaning. You add it to it, and then understand the domino effects it's had on you since then.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's
It
hard to see
requires
in
courage.
yourself, but
Yeah.
someone else can really can help with that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Just
Yeah.
like anything,
Yeah.
any of the things
Yes.
we can see it in everyone else, and we don't see it in ourselves so
Yeah.
often.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we talked about the adults. So, a lot of the original work that Marci and I did was with teens and with youth. And then I was watching also one of your podcasts, and you were talking about how to do something discreetly. And Marci and I are big on helping kids. A lot of times these things are happening in the classroom, and they're having a panic attack right there in the classroom. And we teach, Marci will teach them bilateral tapping or something. They can just tap their feet like underneath the floor. And I saw you doing some tapping with their fingers, perhaps. So talk about the kids maybe, and how they might be able to use some of the tapping themselves.
Yeah, so when I work with children, I always ask them what's their favorite tapping point, because I'll go through the whole algorithm with them, right? As we're tapping, right?
Yes.
To work through a whole session. And at the end, I'll go, which tapping point did you like best? And they'll go, this one, or they'll tap on top of their head and go, this one, right? Now, if it's something for the classroom, I won't necessarily tell them to go tap here. They might tap in the toilet, right, on the top of their head.
Yes.
But I'll say, if you want to, you just massage your chest around here at the collarbone point, because there's a collarbone point, right?
Yes.
As long as you're activating it, as long as you're pushing it, it's activated. So you don't physically have to pulse and tap. You can push against it.
Yeah.
So I said, you can massage this point here, or just massage that point there, but under the table.
Right.
The side of hand point under the table.
Yes.
Because you can even just do it while sitting here and just activating past it. Right.
Wow.
But the trick is to do it as you're feeling the big feeling come on. Because once they're in a panic, forget about it.
Yeah.
Like your thinking brain's gone. It's flown away. Your breakers, it's called the breakers area. It will just fly, and that's it. See you later.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why you can't access thinking when you're in the panic.
So
it's like telling a woman to calm down. Won't work.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't go there.
The thinking brain is non-accessible.
Yeah.
So I say, when it starts, and they know, because kids know, they'll go, it starts on my toes, come up to my knees, and I feel it building up to my chest, and then I blow. And I go, all right, when you feel it coming up, at least coming up to your knees, you start tapping. I said, it doesn't matter that you don't know what to say, because you're already activated, you're already triggered, you're already like, in it, right?
That's great. Yes.
But it's at a 3 or 4 out of 10, not a 9 or 10 out of 10. which is like, forget about it. You need someone else to help calm you.
Yes.
At 3 or 4, it's still manageable. You still can do something about it.
Yes.
So that's a trick. It's like they can use tapping, but they have to use it with the timing. So, but they know, kids know when they're about to, and if they remember, it intervenes very quickly.
Yes, that's why we were so passionate about, we started with teens, but then we started working with some schools and trying to create programs for much younger. And that's what I really, I just think would be so great is as part of the social emotional learning, which we know kids need, that there could be these coping skills and that tapping could be one of them. And it could be very simple, like you say, just, the collarbone or the hand or something that, just kind of starts them out. And then it becomes their go-to, just like, taking a breath can be a go-to.
Yeah, because they learn the self-regulation method as a young kid. Then
they have it their whole lives.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's just like breathing then.
Yes, it's transformational.
I'm curious, were you able to go and do your trainings inside the schools or inside the schools in Australia? Are they open to that sort of thing? We've not had a lot of luck here.
There's a lot of red tape.
Oh my
goodness.
goodness.
A lot of red tape.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I'm fortunate that at the school my son's at, the principal is and still very open to things like this. So we can do it after school because it's an after school activity. You don't have to get counsel, whatever approval for during school time.
Yes, that's
okay. If it's during school time, there's a lot of red tape. Yeah.
Interesting.
We have the exact same thing going on here. That's why we decided to do a podcast, because then you can talk about it, right? You can you can be open, you can help as many people, as many kids as you need to around the world, and you don't have to get through the red tape or the front door to get the information out there.
Exactly.
So I'm kind of thinking, as we're talking about this, that there's probably a lot of people who are still very unclear what tapping is. So we've kind of given them some of the stories about how it works. But I wonder if maybe you could just do a little sample session on something that maybe is, relatable for something generalized, just to kind of show it and so let people see what it looks like.
Oh, okay. For mums or for kids?
Let's do it for parents. Let's do it for say moms or dads or
okay. So money and Christmas.
Yes. Excellent.
There you go.
Or it could be in-laws in Christmas.
Sure. Yes. Check.
So if it's money and Christmas, right? Because, I'm not sure about over there in the Northern Hemisphere, but in Australia, everybody spends, and then the catch-up months are January and February.
March, April, May, June.
It's depending how far you go.
And at the same time, we've had 12 mortgage rate rises.
Yes.
In the last year, 12 or 13, one of those. And the cost of living is actually creeping up, and that seems to be all around the world anyway. Right? Significant increase in supermarket costs even. So Christmas then is very triggering in terms of money, as it's always been, but I think it's even more so this year. Yeah. So we can do some tapping on that.
Okay. All right, and Debbie and I'll tap along. We'll be your client.
I'm in.
All right, cool. Okay. Even though Christmas is coming up.
Christmas is coming up.
There's a lot of money issues coming through.
There's a lot of money issues coming through.
Bills still need to be paid.
Bills still need to be paid.
Even though it's just one day of the year.
Even though it's just one day of the year.
I support and I accept myself through this.
I support and I accept myself through this.
Even though I've got money worries.
Even though I've got money worries.
How much I need to spend through Christmas.
How much I need to spend through Christmas.
The gifts, the food.
the gifts, the
It's
food.
It seems never ending.
It seems never ending.
I'm still okay and I'm still all right.
I'm still okay,
and I'm
still
still
all
all
right.
right.
Even though Christmas is under a month away.
Even though Christmas is under a month away.
And I'm looking at my savings account.
And I'm looking at my savings
account.
And I feel these sensations in my body.
And I feel these sensations in my body.
I accept all of how I feel.
I accept all of how I feel.
I love and support myself.
I love
and
support
myself.
Now, top of the head, all these money issues.
All these money issues.
And then the eyebrow point. Christmas is under a month away.
Christmas is under a month away.
Side of the eye, I've got so much stuff to buy.
I got
so much stuff to buy.
And then under the eye. And I feel this in my body.
And I feel this in my body.
Under the nose. All this pressure.
All this pressure.
And then the chin point where the crease is. Associated with money.
Associated with money.
And then the collarbone point. I spend so much through Christmas.
I spend so much through Christmas.
And then the underarm point on the side. Yep. I lost my train of thought. So let me think. I can't afford this.
I can't afford this.
I don't know where the money's coming from.
I don't know where the money's coming from.
What if they judge me?
What if they judge me?
I can't afford those expensive gifts.
I can't afford those expensive gifts.
What if the kids expect more?
What if the kids expect more?
And all these feelings in my body.
And all these feelings in my body.
It's familiar.
It's familiar.
I feel it there all the time.
I feel it there all the time.
I want to remind my body.
I want to remind my body.
And my subconscious.
And my subconscious.
Whatever memory I'm remembering right now.
Whatever memory I'm remembering right now.
It's actually not happening right now.
It's actually not happening right now.
It's 2023.
It's 2023.
I know I've got money worries.
I know I've got money worries.
It's actually okay to feel this way.
It's actually okay to feel this way.
But whatever my body's remembering.
But whatever my body's remembering.
I give it full permission to let go.
I give it full permission to let go.
To let it flush away.
To let it flush away.
The angst about money.
The angst about money.
The worry about the food I have to buy.
The worry about the food I have to buy.
All the extras.
All the extras.
Flushing it all away.
Flushing it all away.
The stress and the angst.
The stress and the angst.
It doesn't serve me to hold on to it.
It doesn't serve me to hold on to it.
So I release and let it go.
So I release and let it go.
And ask my body to process this.
And ask my body to process this.
Out of my body.
Out of my body.
Out of where I hold it.
Out of where I hold it.
Flushing it out.
Flushing it out.
And out of my energy fields.
Out of my energy fields.
I'm okay and I'm still safe.
I'm okay and I'm still safe.
I can be creative about what I need to do.
I can be creative about what I need to do.
I can communicate what I'm dealing with.
I can communicate what I'm dealing with.
I can ask for help.
I can ask for help.
I can share this with my family.
I can share this with my family.
It is Christmas.
It is Christmas.
And sharing is caring.
And sharing is caring.
So I send myself love.
So I send myself love.
I send myself compassion.
I send myself
compassion.
I thank my body.
I thank my body
for letting me know.
For letting me know.
Where I keep the angst.
Where I keep the angst.
What memories associated with.
What memories are associated with.
And for backing me and letting it go.
And for backing me and letting it go.
I'm grounded.
I'm grounded.
I'm centered.
I'm centered.
I send myself compassion.
I send myself compassion.
And joy.
And joy.
All will be well.
All will be well.
Okay, back here. Breathe in. And out. Well done, ladies. How do you feel now?
It's going to be a Merry Christmas.
Feel good, feel calm. Yes.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That is so interesting. You know, I just to be authentic, I love Thanksgiving. It's my favorite holiday, but Christmas just stresses me the hell out. I'm just gonna be straight up, right? And so I'm gonna see how this Christmas is gonna go now. So
yes.
Yes.
And
that's definitely general. Yes. Yeah. Sorry, Marci.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say I definitely felt that calming effect, like that grounding down, just
good.
All is well.
Yeah. Yes. Wow. Very good. Yeah. So that was more general and global tapping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Because I couldn't be specific. If I'm working in a 101, I'll be asking, where's it in your body?
Right.
And then drilling down into it. And then memories will pop up. It'll be a random thought or a visual or a picture or you might hear a few words. And so I'll be drilling down because it's literally your body giving us a breadcrumbs to Hansel and Gretel's house.
Yeah.
I'm following it. I'm following it. So, but I'll start with the sensation or I'll start with how you're feeling and what you're saying. And then the next thing is you're thinking about something else, but it might be a memory from 2 years ago, like a more recent memory. And I'll go there and then I'll keep asking, why is it coming up? And it might give us a memory all of a sudden from, when you were in junior school and experiencing Christmas at school.
Yes.
Or the lead up to it. So it'll be an associated memory that's anchoring the emotion or the familiar sensation.
Yeah. I'm curious as you're talking about that then. So then as you're tapping through, do you stop and check in and ask questions? And then that's where then you keep going, kind of following that breadcrumb trail, as you said.
Definitely.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So I'll stop, start. But we're tapping all the time. So even if I'm discussing a memory with you, I'll be doing this. Or if I'm writing a note, it'll be the collarbone point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so for our listeners, if you were just listening to this, you're going to kind of need to go to our YouTube channel, which is actually still kind of getting finalized so that you can see it. But we're going to give some links too for Fay's websites and stuff so that you can go through and see where those points are. But what I love about what you just did is it does just kind of demystify it, and it gives you something. What I would encourage you to do if you're able to watch it and do just what Debbie and I are doing, tap along, repeat it out loud. And especially if Christmas is stressing you out.
Yeah, exactly. Because you'll get what we call borrowed benefits. So I might be tapping with Marci and Debbie here, but if you're tapping along, you're going to get your variation of it, like your cut of it as such. Yeah.
Because we're all sort of in the energy field, right? So we're anyone who's in the field with us can experience it, right?
Exactly.
Wow.
I love that.
Oh my
Perfect.
goodness. Oh my goodness. I think we are getting close to the end of time. We could tap all day with Fay.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Yes, tap all day with Fay.
So
So
Fay, how do people find you? How do they get in touch with you? And I know you have workshops, and they can do one-on-one with you. So
Yes.
let
Yes.
everybody
So you
know
can
how they
find
can
me
do it.
on Facebook and Instagram. My handle is Living Well with Fay, all one word, and it's Fay without the E.
Mhm.
And I think I've given you my link tree
Yes.
URL because that's where you can book as well, because I've got my appointment booking
Oh, great.
attached to that.
And so
So
if
yeah,
somebody wants to reach out, and we are going to share all those links on our show notes, but if someone's thinking, gosh, I really would love to work with Fay, they'll go to the link tree and it'll allow them to schedule
yes,
their first
yeah.
visit
You
or a
can schedule a
consultation.
discovery call,
Okay.
and then obviously we'll have to work out the time frames as well,
Yes.
because it's 10:47 a.m. over here in Melbourne, and it's like
Yes.
2:47 or 3, whatever it is.
We have crossed
3:47
the
p.m. Yeah.
time continuum boundary because we're Tuesday for us and Wednesday for Fay, but it can be
Yeah.
done. We're in
But it can be
California.
done. Yeah.
Yes, and luckily Fay she did the math for us, so clearly she's got the math brain too. So you could just say, "Here's where I am," and then she'll know when
Yeah.
to book.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fantastic. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm
Well,
so grateful to speak with you.
yeah, that was a beautiful gift, Marci. I think this one will probably come out around Christmas too, right?
Yes. Yes. It'll
Oh,
be
lovely.
coming out before Christmas. So yes, like I
Yeah.
say, folks, as you listen, tap along and or
Yes.
reach out for some really good deeper work with Fay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you so
Wonderful.
much. Fay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. My pleasure. I had a great time.
And now for a moment about meditation and how it can help you and your family to self-regulate and mindfully return to a place of calm and centeredness. Our Core Tools platform consists of a number of proven tools and techniques that are designed to reduce stress, anxiety, and overwhelm in spite of what's going on in your world. Meditation is just one of these powerful tools. And through a special partnership with Donna Appadoni, we have created a group of meditations available only on our platform and via Donna's own website. Here's Donna.
People come and go. The ones we love, the ones we will never know. We're expected to adjust, and we do, in time. Hi, I'm Donna Appadoni. I'm the person who writes and produces meditations for Core Experience. A friend of mine recently moved to the other side of the country. I love this friend, and I was really sad because I didn't want her to leave, and I know I probably won't ever see her again. That's true of a lot of people in our lives. We like them, and we're sad when they leave. But we can remember what they gave us. We can remember the things we like about them, and we can use those things, pay it forward, be as nice as they were, be as generous as they were, smile as much as they did. Keep their good energy with you and then share it with the people around you. It's a nice way to remember friends and family who are far away, and it's a nice way to make the world a better place. Remember, whatever's going on with you, you can do anything you set your mind to do. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It's what we are. It's who we are. What we have always been, what we will always be. Our energy speaks volumes, and it will be heard for generations to come. Make it good.
Donna's book, called Drive Time Meditations, is a collection of 183 of her purpose-driven motivators. Drive Time Meditations is available on Amazon.
Thank you for listening to the Warrior Parent Podcast. You can find us at coreexperience.org. Make sure you join us next week for another informative conversation to help you and your family show up mindfully, purposefully, and joyfully with each other and in your community.
Our meditation segment is produced by Donna Appadone with music from Scott Holmes. The full collection of meditations is in Donna's book, Drive Time Meditations, available on Amazon and at donnaappadone.com. Thanks to Samuel Hale, LLC, for sponsoring this podcast. Technical and marketing support comes from Inspire Your Brand. Our podcast editor is Justin Beeden. Opinions expressed by guests do not necessarily reflect those of the hosts, producers, or financial supporters. I'm Debbie DiManno.
And I'm Marci Mitchell. The Warrior Parent Podcast is a production of Core Experience. If you resonate with the idea of creating a community to help support kids and families, won't you join us by following the podcast and sharing this episode? You can even write a review. It truly does take a village, and we appreciate you.